Hi guys, Dr. Winnie Yu here from Bespoke Treatments, New York City. Today we're going to be talking about 4 easy mobility moves that I would integrate into my runner's warm-ups or cool-down routine. This is a little bit separate from the running specific drills that I would recommend to my runners, more specific to hip openers, a little bit into the glute stretches, so a little bit different than your traditional running warm-up. Feel free to integrate this as part of your day-to-day routine or specifically on the days that you run. So let's get started. The first thing I'm going to have you do is sit onto your bum with both feet in front of you. Hands are behind you. We'll go into those hip switches. This is a great way to open up those hips and work on the internal and external rotation. So you're going to rotate both knees down to one side, thinking about driving both knees down towards the ground, then the opposite side. Let's aim for 10 repetitions here. This is 2. And with each one, because this is a dynamic stretch, I want you to think about trying to aim a little bit deeper. So if you're stuck here, right, we need to work on the internal rotation a little bit more on this guy. With each repetition, try to go a little bit deeper. If you're finding that opening motion is more challenging, we need to work more on the external rotation. This gives us information on how you're using your body as a runner, because sometimes if you're lacking hip mobility, when you're climbing up and down those hills, when you're translating, you're going faster, this can be really important on how you translate your force forward and make sure that you're not losing out on efficiency, either side by side or compensating at different areas into your lower back. All right. We'll go into that dynamic 90-90 next. So if available to you, I'm going to have you come into that 90-90 position. If not available, you can always close the legs together to put less pressure onto those hips. So I'm going to have you start off in 90-90. Have your torso upright. If you're noticing that you're shifted to the side, I'm going to have you close that leg up so you can be more upright. For demonstration purposes, I'll show you guys here. Hand to either side. I'm going to have you slowly come on down, back up. You should be feeling a stretch onto both hips because you're placing it at end range rotation on both sides. And you should be feeling a stretch onto that front hip, those front glutes. So let's go for demonstration purposes, 5 here. For you guys, I'm going to have you go for 10 repetitions, 2 to 3 sets of these guys. So 1 more, and then we'll switch to the other side. So 90-90, hands either in front or inside, depending on what feels more comfortable for you, and we'll go for 5 here. 2 more. Perfect. And the next thing we'll do from here is world's greatest stretch. It is called the world's greatest stretch because frankly, it does target a lot of muscle groups at the same time. So it's one of my favorite. If this is available to you, it targets that upper body, that lower body, and even into, for general, a great warm-up exercise for running or just for day-to-day mobility. So I'm going to have you place that left foot down, right hand down, drive that left elbow down towards the ground. If you're here, just gently try to push your range a little bit, but don't go if this is uncomfortable on either the hips or the back. If available to you, bring that leg up so you can feel a deeper stretch onto that back leg. If not, drop that back knee down, tuck the toes under, and we'll drive the elbow down, rotate up towards the sky. For demonstration purposes, I'm going to show you 5. But for you guys, I want you to do anywhere from 8 to 10, 2 to 3 rounds. Let's go for 1 more. And then same thing on that opposite side. We'll switch. So again, if available to you, prop that back leg up. So once you're done with the world's greatest stretch, I'll have you come into that tall kneeling position. Stick one leg out to the side. This is a great stretch for those adductors or those inner thigh muscles. As runners, these guys can sometimes get overlooked because we spend so much time thinking about strengthening and mobilizing those outer hip muscles or anything at the core. So these guys are really important to make sure that we're mobilizing, but also stabilizing them, which we'll talk about next week. So place a hand in front of you, stacking the wrists, elbows, and shoulders in line. Leg out is straight under you, knee and hips are stacked. I'm gonna have you sit your butt back, come back to center. If you got a nice little crack like I just did, that's totally fine, as long as it's not uncomfortable. So demonstration purposes, I'll show you 5, but let's go for 10 when you're doing it on your own. 1 more here, and then we'll switch, same thing to that opposite side. So those were 4 really easy hip openers that you can do to improve your running. Feel free to integrate it into your warm-ups or your cool downs. For more running specific drills, tune in for future sessions because I'll definitely be covering those more. So I'll see you guys next week.